my dreams. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. All right, that's the new opening for Halloween, episode 23. Cold-hearted NFL Sunday meets Freaky Friday, Halloween edition. Hope you all you guys like that, and if you do like it, but you see what you hear, click subscribe button. Click the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. Man, it's been a week and a crazy. I should have said crazy first. A crazy NFL weekend. But like I said, that's my ticker right now. That any given Sunday is not just the same anymore. I won 11 games this week in all the picks I picked, but the 5 I lost. Ouch! Oh, I couldn't. I should have had 14 wins. I mean, it was that simple. I mean, it's absolutely insane what I lost this weekend, and I was this close to winning certain pools that I was in. My pool, I almost never win. I'm never close enough. But we do got to talk about this first. Trade deadline. It was at 4 p.m. today. Who got traded in the last 48 hours? Well, I'll talk about this first. So, because it's a little close to home. It's a little bright. It is what it is. Hopefully I'm not too bright, guys. All right, so New York Giants news. The Giants trade away Leonard Williams to Seattle for their second and fifth round picks. Now, I don't know about anybody who watches this, but for me, I actually like it. I didn't want to part with him, but for the picks that we got, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. So, say la vie, Mr. Williams. You'll hopefully do better there but although you're in a tough division with San Francisco, and we'll talk about that a little bit more because San Francisco was obviously in the news today too. So let's talk about. I want to share this, and we'll go to here. Let's see. I guess that's kind of. Let's get this out of the way. Let's hide that. So I want to talk about what's happening over the last few weeks. So real quick, starting September 20th, okay, September 20th. Let me get rid of this sticker because you can't even see me. There we go. Now let me change this up. Let's go this way. That's better. Okay. So I'll start down here at the bottom. Cam Akers, Los Angeles to Minnesota. So Los Angeles, I'm assuming Rams. September 20th, J.C. Jackson went from L.A. to New England. Chase Claypool. I'll do big names. Van Jefferson, wide receiver. So Los Angeles is getting rid of a lot of good players over the last 3 weeks, the last 4 weeks actually. Mecole Hardman from New York, I remember that, on October 18th to Kansas City. And Kansas City had a good week with him. The first week they had him, second week, not so good. But, I think everybody remembers that, especially if you're a New York fan. And then Philly sent Terrell Edmonds to Tennessee, and Tennessee sent Kevin Byard back to – so the trade is safety for safety. Okay, now let's go to today. Yesterday and today. Broncos not shopping players at a trade deadline. So apparently Denver's not going to shop anybody. So, and obviously the trade deadline is 4 hours past. The Chiefs and wide receiver James are exploring trade possibilities, so I don't think this happened. Okay, Richie James is probably still on the Kansas City Chiefs, but since they got Mecole Hardman, but it is what it is. James had 57 catches for New York Giants in 2022. Yeah, so that happened. Then this is obviously the trade yesterday that I just mentioned. Next, Tennessee. Schefter reports running back Henry trade unlikely. And as far as the 4 o'clock happened, never heard that, and I was a little surprised that he didn't go to Buffalo or go to Dallas. That was a little bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. Eagles sending DL Street to Falcons. So Kentavious Street and the 2025 7th round pick to Atlanta for their 6th round pick this year. And Atlanta was looking for defensive line help after Grady Jarrett suffered a torn ACL. So Falcons got them a new defensive lineman. I guess Start Today is not here. He's the Falcons fan. He or she is the Falcons fan. Bears cornerback Johnson requests trade. I don't think he got that either. Adoree Jackson unlikely to be traded. Yeah, that didn't happen. He's due $6 million, and he's hot and cold. But we'll get to that. Cowboys owner Jones. I see us right now having a pat hand. He's been past couple weeks have been about possibility of making a trade. Dallas Cowboy Jerry Jones did not sound like a move was imminent. Quote, I see us right now having a pat hand. Yeah, okay, he's always very ominous. Order Bills and Jalen Johnson from the Bears and the Cowboys were also involved supposedly. This went down. This was the first thing I heard today. Washington Commanders and Chicago Bears have agreed to a trade. Oh, wait. Yeah. To send Montez Sweat to Chicago for a 2nd round pick next year. Not a bad trade for both teams, honestly. Washington wasn't getting much out of them. Chicago could do something. And Chicago's 2nd round pick, if they are bad, it's going to be a high 2nd round pick. Almost no chance moving Hunter. Yeah, well, they got bigger fish to fry. We'll get to that for the Vikings. Patriots open to trade Uche. Yeah, I heard that 2 days ago on Sunday. I don't think that came to fruition, especially since Sweat left. Bengals not expected to move Higgins. Thank God. I have him on my fantasy team, and I needed him to stay with Cincinnati, although I need him to get more touches. Vikings. Big news. Vikings acquire Joshua Dobbs from Cardinals. Dobbs, who was kind of pushed back, he's kind of a work in progress, but he did win them a couple games. He beat Dallas. Remember, Dallas lost to the Cardinals in Dallas? I think it was in Dallas. Might have been in Arizona. But so he has a win underneath his belt. The 1-7 Cardinals, they're going with a backup before Kyler Murray comes back. But the Vikings do acquire now a quarterback, since their quarterback is now done for the year, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And Vikings trading a guard to Cleveland. Oh, no, his last name is Cleveland, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ezra Cleveland to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 6th round pick this year. A lot of 6th round picks going this year. This is the big fall that the Commanders traded. And which now makes San Francisco probably, and I'm going to say probably, better than the Eagles. Only reason is because now you have Chase Young on one side, you have Nick Bosa on the other side, and an assortment of other San Francisco defensive people. The West is one. As long as all you need to do with Purdy now is have him manage. Stay within himself and manage. Make him Jeff Hostetler. Show him Jeff Hostetler videos in San Francisco. I'm telling you, it'll work. Next, Lions acquired Peoples-Jones from Browns. They probably could use another wide receiver, the Lions, to stay afloat. Bills get cornerback Douglas from the Packers. They need defense in the worst way. So if he can get to where he's the Bills today, that'd be good. And I think that was it. That seems to be it. So those are the trades. And like I said, those are more trades than I thought there would be. And that's a list, okay? So I do have another trade to talk about. And it's not NFL. And let me stop sharing. So let's talk about this trade. Good job, Philly. You got rid of James Harden. You needed to get rid of him. the guy was a bum. He was a cancer. Good for you, 76ers. Obviously, I'm not a Philly fan, period, 76ers or any of them. But he was a cancer in that team. If you don't know, read up on it. Trust me, there's a lot of stories. So Harden with PJ Tucker and Philip Petrusev and a future first-round pick, I think it's 2027, for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, and KJ Martin, who's actually Kenyon Martin Jr. If anybody knows Kenyon Martin, he used to be a Net, he was a Knick, he was other places. This is his kid, KJ Martin Jr. And they're getting future picks going to the 76ers, 2028 to 2029. We're already 5-6 years ahead. It's crazy. But so this trade is a big trade. I think who won it, really, because the Clippers, I think, won it more because if Harden does amount to anything, this will be. And PJ Tucker is not a bad guy. Now, PJ Tucker and Phillip are both forwards. The four that went back to the 76ers are all forwards. So no guards were traded in this. So it was all forwards. So it's just a matter of who's going to be doing what, where, and why. All right, so let's go to my picks for this week. So I got to go to Facebook. And I'll share that. No. You can probably see it from there. No, let's do this. All right. So this is my picks. Houston lost that, I think. Yep. Houston lost to Carolina, so that's my one loss. So I went 5-1 this week. Did pretty good. Like I said, I had 11 wins total, so I felt pretty good this week. And subsequent weeks, a whole nother story. I'll talk about that. So Carolina won 15-13, and I lost that. I won Dallas. Dallas won handily. I won the Jets game, and we'll talk about that. I won Philly. I had them at 27-20. Actually, with the Giants, I also had them only getting 10 points. People thought I was crazy saying the Giants would get 10 points. I was right. Anyway, Nostradamus, I am, somewhat. The Chargers beat Chicago, and pretty handily. That kid Badgett kind of went a little bat crazy. And Detroit wasn't as close as I thought. I thought 23-20. It was a little bit bigger of a spread. So I went 5-1 this week. Yay me! All right, I did well. All right, so I can get rid of Facebook. Unless somebody, not just one. Okay. Let me get rid of Facebook. Oops! I don't want to show that yet. No. Too quick. Okay. So let's go to what Giants. What happened? Where do they go from here? Might they lose every game for the rest of the season? Might need a drink for this. So, if you saw the Giant game, you saw what happened. I know what happened. I only saw the first quarter. I heard Bob Papa from the fourth quarter on, as I was in the car. Now, to say this was the worst regular season game ever, might not be wrong. It might not be wrong at all. I think it could be. Honestly, it was pretty bad. Now, the rain didn't help. And for football players playing the rain, they should be accustomed to this. They're professionals. This is something that they should be used to if they're not used to it. But to play this atrocious, and then, of course, Tyrod gets hurt. Now, I will say, watching that first quarter, watching the plays that Tyrod made, I'll acquiesce a little bit that a lot of this isn't Tyrod's fault. To the point that I'm going to make, it's the offensive coordinator or the coach, whoever's calling the plays. The offensive plays are a joke. The offensive plays are putrid. The offensive plays are disgusting. You have quarterbacks that should be able to know how to throw. They know how to run. They have to have the sense to run when necessary. And when Tyrod got hurt, who comes in? Tommy DeVito, the Jersey boy. And what happens? He doesn't throw. Why? You're a quarterback. It's what you do. Every play was a run play. The Jets figured it out. A high school team would have figured it out. The Jets figured it out. They started stopping it. Somehow Barkley got over 128 yards. I mean, thank God he did, but never scored a touchdown. Who scored the touchdown for the Giants? Did anybody remember? Tommy DeVito. He ran it in. And this is the team we're going to have when Jones comes back. We got to get some wide receivers. We got to get somebody off the bench. We got to get somebody off the street. I don't care. We got to get somebody. Somebody's got to figure this out. And now that Waller's hurt, whether he's a tight end or a wide receiver, you need somebody. I think we have a shot to win this week. After that, I don't think we got a shot to win any other time. I truly don't. That's my take on that. Now, let's go to the Jets. Now, I hope Jet fans, when they see this, that they're smart enough to realize that they didn't win this game. The Giants gave them this game. Because you didn't win this game. Wilson had a good game, according to Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, former quarterback for Chicago and God knows who else. All three on Michael Kay show, ESPN New York Radio, disagree with his statement. Where do I stand? I stand with the three guys, the Michael Kay show. Dan Orlovsky is either an idiot or he's trying to make some commentary because it sounds asinine. And I'm sorry, he did not have a good game. He had a good series of plays to win the game when he had to. He played nonsense for the first 58 to 9 minutes. Third down possessions, 0 for 23. Anything 0 for anything past 18 is bad. So where's the good? That he stayed in it, his mindset was still in it. Good for him. He gets paid to do this. He had a good game. Oh, dude. Orlovsky, you're lucky you're not fired for that statement, I'll tell you right now. All right, let's start the 1 o'clock games. Like I said, Houston, Carolina. Carolina won 15-13. Came back to win last second. Another last second win. This one of the last second wins. Pretty sure I lost that one. Can't tell. No, I lost that one. Dallas beating Rams 43-20. You know what? That was just they were winning 30-3, I think, at one point. Not a shocker there. Minnesota beats Green Bay 24-10 and also losing their quarterback to an ACL injury. Kirk Cousins gone. He gone. So that sucks. Truly that sucks for him to be hurt and be done. But now they got Joshua Dobbs. At some point, they're going to incorporate him. Minnesota's got a shot because Detroit's the only team that they got to compete with. Green Bay's not good. Anybody they got back in the trade to past day and a half, I don't think is enough. Honestly, I don't think it's enough. So next we got New Orleans, 38 points against Indy. Good Lord, New Orleans. I mean, either they're offensively amazing or they're so inept that they can't score. Taysom Hill scored 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill, either he's hit or miss. Sometimes he's in the game plan, other times he's not. I don't know why. He's an anomaly in the NFL and should be used as an anomaly in the NFL. He's almost CMC. He's almost McCaffrey. Except he's probably better than McCaffrey because he can throw a ball. Maybe not far, but McCaffrey, he's a running back straight up. And a wide receiver to an extent, too. Who else we got? Miami winning, beating New England. Pretty much taking them to school. It's 31-17. went over the Giants and Jets, and that went to overtime. And I'm not even going to get to the overtime. That overtime was. I kind of agree with Michael Kay and the boys. The Giants should have deferred, giving the Jets the ball, and then possibly getting the ball back closer if they could have stopped them to try to kick a field goal. Although how Graham Gano was probably hurt, kicking a field goal, good idea. Let me get on that real quick. If you know your kicker is hurt, go get another one. Get one off the practice squad. Don't be stupid. Why is Coach Dable saying, "Oh, he was okay"? He's got a bruised knee. He already talked about he's probably going to have to get surgery at the end of the year. Come on, and you want to have him kick in the rain? That's just insanity. Dable lost a couple, specks of respect from me. I hope he does well, because if he doesn't, I think he might be gone. I don't know if they're going to handle a 2-15 season or a 3-14 season. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's going to get his kicked out. Jacksonville, a bit of a surprise. Although I think I had Jacksonville. Yes, I did. I had Jacksonville beating Pittsburgh, and Jacksonville's just that good. Flat out, they're good. They won this on the road. I think they're 4-0 on the road. I mean, yes, 2 of those are in England, but they're 4-0 on the road. That's big. Who else? Atlanta, Tennessee. All 1 o'clock games. Tennessee beats Atlanta. Atlanta, I really thought was winning this game. Did I have them? No, I had Tennessee, but it was low. I really think Derrick Henry's the guy that they got to go behind. So I don't know. But Tennessee, they're legit, but they don't have the core. Will Levis, either he's going to have a good game here and there, but most games are not going to be that good. And then Philly, Washington. Holy mother. Philly, Washington. This had Beth on her last nerve, and we were at a birthday party, and she kept getting updates, and her voice was raging to come out. I mean, it was, and I should have known this. Honestly, should have known this. Washington's going to be a tough team this year. They're going to bring everything to the grindstone. This is what the Commanders are going to do. And they just got a little weaker by letting go Chase Young and a couple other people and Sweat. So their defense got a little weaker, but what? I'm curious how Washington plays this week. That will tell what they are for the rest of the year and what Sweat and Young meant to them, to this team, the first 8 games they played. And that was the last of the 1 o'clock games. Go to the 4 o'clock games real quick. So the killer game besides Carolina-Houston was KC-Denver. What the hell, Patty? Pat Mahomes, I know you were sick. I know it was cold. It was snowing. You got 200 yards, 250 almost, but 2 interceptions and a fumble that you lost. Dude, I'm a little more upset about this, not because I lost the game and I had them high. Actually, my highest pick, but a lot of us had them at 16. And I know it's an away game in Denver. Shouldn't have had it that high, but Casey's been that good. One of the 2 interceptions I saw, and I bet you if I did the research, or maybe somebody else sees this and does the research and puts it in my comments, maybe I'm right. Most of his interceptions are being thrown to Kelsey. Now, Kelsey does well. Kelsey's got a lot of catches, got a lot of yards. He's doing well. But the last 3 or 4 I've seen, every ball was going to Kelsey. So that makes me wonder, and we've heard this before with Kelsey, is he running the right routes? Is he supposed to be farther in to catch the ball so it's not intercepted by the other guy? Makes me wonder. I like the team. It's a good team that plays well. But I question this. I mean, Kelsey's been doing this now for years. He's not getting younger. But he's still big, like he's Gronk big. So I'm curious how the next 5 to 6 weeks go, because they have a bye at some point. Sunday night game. Oh, let's go to the other three. I thought I talked about all of them. Cleveland, Seattle. Let's see. Cleveland, Seattle. Seattle wins 24-20. They're having nail biters, the Seattle team. And Cleveland, they kind of had it coming to them since they really shouldn't have won the last game against Indy. They lost this in the final minutes too. So what seemed to be the easiest game of the day, Baltimore pretty much took out Arizona, even though Arizona came back. Arizona came back and scored 24 points, so it was 31-24. Baltimore had a great day. I mean, they were on point most of the day. Defense just lagged a little and gave up more than a few. And then San Francisco. I mean, I know they could have lost. It was a possibility. But the way they lost. And Purdy, I don't know if he's seeing ghosts, if he's not throwing the right route, is he not? I mean, what have they figured him out? Have defenses actually figured out Brock Purdy? I don't know, because he threw 2 end of the fourth quarter interceptions, and they lost 31-17 to Cincinnati. Cincinnati on the road, going to San Fran, go figure. Okay, so Sunday night football, Sunday night game of the night, which was not the game of the night. Chicago and Badgett, like I said earlier, did not have anything. Went into SoFi Stadium and got lit up, 30-13. I mean, that was a 43-point game, and Chicago really didn't do too much, period. So that's that. Monday Night Football, Vegas at Detroit. So Vegas goes on the road, and it looked like they might show up. I mean, they looked like they were playing well, and Detroit just ran them over. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is the guy. I tell you, that kid's going to be something. He's going to be the next Bosa. He's going to be the next Chase Young. He's going to be the next. Who am I forgetting defensive-wise? Tim and Thibodeau. Hutchinson and Thibodeau. Watch out. Those two are going to be top defensive guys over the next 3 to 5 years. And then we got the 3 major, now it's 4 actually, 4 major injuries. And the 4th one is new. 4th one is very new. We didn't know it on Sunday. It found out after. Kirk Cousins, Minnesota, Achilles, out for the year. Tyrod Taylor, QB, Giants, rib injury. Probably week to week, but I'm giving him a month at least. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh. That's with his rib. That's again same as Tyrod Taylor. That's probably going to be week to week. So I'm not looking forward to Pittsburgh winning too many games. Matt Stafford, a UCL sprain. I mean, they should keep him out a game or two, because the UCL sprain can be worked out. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think my chair's falling. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Yeah, now I'm higher. Okay. So, that's all the games. The football games did that in a half hour. Yay me. Now we got this. And before the recap, I wanted to say, Taylor Swift, inactive for Kansas City. That's probably why they lost. I'll be more convinced of that if they lose this week. Damn, I can't get this seat right. So I'll be more convinced of that, if she doesn't show up for this week. And honestly, there's, I heard she's going on an international tour, so she might not be showing up for the rest of the year. So this was probably a 4-game whatever, and it's done. It's probably over with. But there's a new person, celebrity, dating that person. I didn't look that person up. I forgot to do that. Let me Google her. Because, yeah, she doesn't have a husband. NFL player husband? Good God, I don't think that's the case. Oh, wait. No. I could have swore she was dating a football player. Saying that she's dating, married to a baseball player? Okay. I don't know. But this is what it says. That I've seen Simone Biles with someone in Green Bay, and I think she's the new celebrity with Green Bay, but I'm seeing, weirdly enough, that she's married to looks like an Astro. Jonathan Owens. People Magazine. Married April 2023. He's from St. Louis, but what does he do? Christian Brothers College High School. Interesting. Oh, I'm right. He plays for the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Let me get off of this. I don't know why it said he was an Astro. Maybe he's a Houston fan. But, yeah. So Owens is against her husband who plays for the Green Bay Packers. So start watching Green Bay a little bit. You'll see more Simone Biles. At least up until she's got to go to the Olympics in 2024, which will probably be her last Olympics. So did the NFL recap, right? Did the NFL a recap. We got all that done. So let's do my top 10 right now. And that's there. So let's share. San Francisco dropped 7 with that loss. I'm sorry, they don't look good. They're lucky they stayed in the top 10. And the Bills move up 1 with that win. Seattle, tough win. They move into my top 10 at 8. Detroit moves up 1 with that win on Monday night. Kansas City down 5 from number 1. They were number 1. They lose. It's not a good loss. So the not good loss and the not good look. They go down. Baltimore didn't move even with their win, and it was a pretty simple win. They didn't move. Now Dallas does move. Dallas had a good game. They could probably be higher if they had that extra win, but they're not there yet. Remember, they already had their bye, so they're playing the rest of the way. Miami, number 3. The Dolphins in my top 10 are number 3. Number 2, you can see, is Jacksonville. Miami had the big number up of everybody. They went 4 up with that win. Jacksonville, number 2. I don't think I've ever said Jacksonville number 2 at anything. Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, are the number 2 team in the league. That means they're the number 1 team in the AFC. That you've never heard, but guess what? Guess who's the coach of Jacksonville? The former Philly coach who won the Super Bowl, Doug Peterson. The man knows how to win. I hate to say it, but I've seen it. I hate to say it, but I've seen it. And then at Philly, until they lose a game, they're going to be number 1. I mean, it's simple as that. Even though how rough they look, you still have 7 wins. They're probably going to have 8 wins next week, which means they're going to stay number 1. It's until they lose, they're the number 1 team in the NFL. There's no question about it. Dallas can try to say they are. Miami can try to say they are. Jacksonville might try to say it, but they're probably ones that are going to be bashful enough and not say it because they know they're number 1 in the AFC, which is Baltimore, Miami, and Kansas City trying to do that. So, all right. So that's that. Get off of that. Now we go to my confidence pool. Week 8 results. First place, winner, Cameron Couples. What do you have? 234 points. He only lost 3 games, but he lost his 15-3-1. His 15 was Kansas City. And I love Houday. That would be Mr. Myron Love. He got second place and close. Won it by 2 points. 228 to 226. He beat QB05, which, if I'm correct, QB05 is Mike Triolo. So he just lost by 2 points. That was a tough week for everybody. You know, when you lose 3 or 4 games, you think you got a shot. The 3-1 beat the 4. It's because you had Detroit higher. The numbers matter. In my football pool, when it's a confidence pool, where you put your numbers absolutely matter. And on who wins and who loses. If you lose your 1, 2, and 3 and you win the rest, that's awesome. You lose one game and you lose your 16, that could be deadly. Simple as that. All right, so I think I'm done completely with football. Let's go to that. We got baseball right now. Texas Rangers at Arizona tonight on now. Texas is up 2-1. They won last night. They won pretty handily. But they got a couple injuries, so we'll see what happens with that. So I do think Texas is going to win this in 6. Texas, I think, wins this in 6, or even earlier if they win tonight. Arizona will be a great story. Absolutely great story. I don't think I've ever talked about it. Arizona will be an absolutely great story. But, I mean, to be frank, I just don't see Arizona. If they can't win one of the next 2, I think they're done. I truly think they're done. All right. Let me look Brian Hawk up. There we go. So I'm going to need that story. So there's not much more to talk about with this until probably next week when, the World Series is over and we're talking about off-season, which we'll start with the off-season with this since the Yankees are in the off-season. Congratulations, Aaron Judge. He's always a winner. Thank God he's a Yankee. He wins the Roberto Clemente Award. If you don't know, and I really don't know too much of it either, but we all know who Roberto Clemente was. He was a probably the best philanthropist person in the world at his time before he died, unfortunately. But this award is in his name, and Aaron Judge does a lot for this community. I'm dipping again. This chair doesn't like me. So Aaron Judge does a lot for this community, and God bless the man. He does an amazing job. So he gets another award, even though it's not a team or a World Series, it's still pretty good. So next, Brian Hawk, MLB writer for Yankees. Who stays, who goes, Yankees free agent? So I'll read you this a little bit. Question 1, will managing general partner Hal Steinbrenner seek significant changes and in which areas? Well, now that Sean Casey's gone, he's got to find a new bench coach / hitting coach. Now expect scrutiny to be placed upon decision-making that led to trades for Josh Donaldson, Joey Gallo, Frankie Montas, and others. Yeah, I've talked about that, especially the first 2. Montas is bad too, and hopefully they don't bring him back. Please don't bring him back. Number 2, how much influence will Judge and Garrett Cole have? They should have a lot of influence. Your top 2 highest paid players. They should be able to comment at least on the way the team looks, who Judge wants to play with. He wants to play with a lefty, I'm sure, in between him and Stanton or him and somebody else who's a righty. I mean, let's be real and put somebody in that first spot who's fast. I hate to say we should go back to 90s baseball, but shouldn't we? I think we should. Is there a big move coming to import a bat? That's third question. 2 words. 1 bat. 1 lefty bat. And for the most part, I don't care who you trade. Especially because who I want is an outfielder. Who I want, and is on the trading block from multiple reports, Juan Soto needs to be a Yankee. Juan Soto needs to be in left field. Juan Soto needs to be in the 3-hole in between Judge and Stanton, or Judge and Torres, or Judge and whoever else holds that 4 spot. That's flat out what needs to be done. And get a center fielder. Go get Kiermaier. I know, and I love Bader, but I don't think Bader's coming back. I don't think they just can't bring him back. He wasn't healthy. He didn't do enough. I don't think he's coming back. Get Kiermaier. Spend some money. Get Kiermaier. And then get some pitching. I know we're talking about bats, but that's going to have to come, and maybe that might be the next question. But those are the only two I want. And right now I see I have nobody watching, but I'm sure I'll have enough views later on down the road. I will have people watching. I want two people. Juan Soto and Kiermaier. That's it. That's all I ask. The people who work for the Yankees, I'm behind you 100%. You can see up above me, right there, Christmas Yankee hat with my Giants hat. I am full-fledged New York fan. Just listen. I do kind of know what I'm talking about. You may not be able to hire me, but listen. And these players, God help me if you keep any of them. Luis Severino, Montas, IKF, Wandy Peralta, Domingo Germán. Please say bye-bye. Just let them go. We don't need them. We don't need them. Find another lefty for the bullpen. I'm telling you, every time I saw Wandy Peralta come in to pitch, he gave up a home run. And I remember to the day when I went to that Yankee game this past year. I'm sitting there, I think it was King who pitched, or it was somebody else who pitched, and pitched well. 5 innings, like that, done. Peralta comes in. If it's not the first pitch, it was the second. Boom! Gone. Home run. Peralta cannot be on the Yankees. Period. And if you're going to trade Dominguez or Torres to get Soto, and he's also saying Bellinger, Cody Bellinger wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't say no to Bellinger. Bellinger is more than suffice and probably better than most of the last lefties that we've had over the last 5 years. But Jason Dominguez, if he's a piece that somebody wants, I got to get rid of him. I have to put him in the trade. And Torres maybe too, but I don't want to keep LeMahieu. He's not as good as he used to be. Flat out, so not as he used to be. All right, let me pull this up. No, that's why I did something stupid. .com. There we go. All right. Next, we got, if it pops up, let's see. There we go. WWE Crown Jewel is Saturday in Riyadh. And this is going to be I got to say, for the lineup they got, it is truly one of the biggest, and why did this move up? Oh my God. It needs to move down. Yeah. One of the biggest shows or pay-per-view shows that's on Peacock in a long time. I mean, here, Seth freaking Rollins, and the stars are there because they are champion, and these are championship matches. Every star is a championship match. So Seth Rollins against Drew McIntyre for Rollins championship. I think it's the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns against LA Knight for the Universal Championship. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. And now, why this is important, if nobody knows or you don't watch enough WWE, John Cena hasn't wrestled, let me rephrase. He's wrestled recently. He hasn't won a match that he's wrestled in since 2016. He's wrestled a couple of times and lost. Let's pass on at WrestleMania. Gave the match to some dip, you know what? I don't remember his name. He's a punk who keeps getting beat up, even though he's a champion. I'm pretty sure he's a champion, but he's not wrestling in this right now. And then more matches. We got this is going to be a good one. Fatal 5-way. Rhea Ripley, who's the champ, against Nia Jax. Thank God she's back. Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and my favorite diva, female wrestler right now, Raquel Rodriguez. I hope Raquel wins, but it's anybody's ball game. The one person I hope doesn't win it is Rhea Ripley, and it's not because I don't like her. I think she's a good champion, and actually she's kind of interesting. I'm just done with their whole shtick. I'm done. Dirty Dom, Damian Priest, the short dude, and then the guy who's his buddy who just got his butt kicked last night on Raw. I'm done with them. I really am. Let's see. This is all in NXT. It's not. Okay, it's all NXT stuff, so I can't really talk about their name. It's on New Day. But anyway, then Cody Rhodes, speaking of Damian Priest, is facing Damian Priest because Cody Rhodes is sick of Damian Priest. Probably should put up his Money in the Bank thing because we're waiting on him to finish that Money in the Bank. Use it for somebody. Rey Mysterio. Now, if you don't know who Logan Paul is, you might want to watch YouTube a little more. Rey Mysterio got challenged by Logan Paul. Logan Paul won a boxing match a month ago, maybe a little bit more. And then I guess he's got this deal with WWE. He can wrestle and come into a match whenever he wants. So he wants to now wrestle Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. And we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Rey Mysterio, hopefully Rey retains. But because Logan Paul having it's going to turn into another Roman Reigns. I'll defend it every 3 months. And that's why I'm hoping Roman loses, by the way, too, because I'm done with him, holding it for the 3 years, and he's really only fought for it, every 5 times a year? That's not a fighting champion. Becky Lynch, that's a fighting champion, and she said it a couple nights ago. And the last one, speaking of Bianca Belair is trying to get her championship back from Io Sky. Bianca got hurt by Io Sky and her ladies in waiting, and that's going to be I tell you, Crown Jewel on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. on Peacock. I would like to watch it if I'm actually home. We'll see. Saturday afternoons I'm not usually home, but we'll see. It's on Peacock, so at some point I'll be able to watch it later if I have to. So let me talk about this. My view on the WWE since its merger with UFC to create TKO. So real quick, I'll talk about why I think it's better. It's more entertaining. There's more there's an acting. The acting is better. Which makes me think the writing is better. Like whoever's writing, whoever's in charge, and think about this: Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, real name Paul Levesque, is the person in charge of creative control, which means the former wrestler who was part of DX, who was a 14-time champion, world champion, married into the McMahon family, knows what he's doing. He sees everything. He knows everything. He knows he's lived the wrestling business most of his life, like a few other people have too. The Rock, with his family, third generation. Guys like Taker, guys like Shawn Michaels, guys like even Mick Foley. I think these guys are coming back because they know Triple H, and it's just this is the new era of wrestlers that it's coming through that they need to intertwine, and most of them are not old wrestlers. If you notice, most of the older guys have left. They've let go. They fired 100 people, I think. I didn't like it. I understood it It hurts, especially the locker rooms, but I'm more apt to move forward with this because of what they've done. And now we've had a general manager on NXT for 2 years, maybe more. I have to look at the history, or some big WWE friend of mine would have to actually tell me what this is in this damn chair. I have to buy a new chair. But now we have 2 new general managers on Raw and SmackDown collectively. The one guy was running both. They moved him to Raw. And this guy, Aldis, who used to wrestle too, is now the GM for SmackDown. And his involvement has made things a little interesting. We'll see how it goes farther down the road. But right now, his early impact has actually been pretty good. I've watched more SmackDown than I've done in years. So, and NXT tonight, let's see. Ilya Dragunov is defending his title against Carmelo Hayes. Good luck, Carmelo Hayes. I don't think you're winning that. Nathan Frazier challenges Dominic Mysterio for NXT North American Championship. I think Dominic somehow is going to win that again. Thea Hale and JC Jane take on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Piper Niven, she's a tough cookie, and she's quick. For a big girl, she's quick. I wouldn't take her lightly at all, and I'm not trying to be funny on that. Would not take her lightly at all. And Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice compete in the 2023 NXT Women's Breakout Tournament final tonight. That was probably first. It's probably already happened. It's 8:51, so it's probably already happened. And I'm guessing, my guess is Kalani Jordan won. My guess. Although Lola Vice as the winner too wouldn't be a bad winner. And, there's been a lot of other different things that's happened on Raw and SmackDown. Very interesting stuff, but I've talked a lot about the WWE already. I'll be done with that now. All right, so got a few things left, not a lot. NBA opening week, Denver 3-0. And I did this last night, so it might not be all 0-4 or 0-3 or 0-2, but there's 4 teams that haven't won yet. Brooklyn, Houston, Portland, and Memphis. Now, Houston, if I'm correct, has got Wembanyama. How has that guy not blocked 10 shots a night and won the games? It makes me think that he's not as good as they think he is, or he doesn't have enough people around him in Houston to help him. But, Wembanyama, he's immense. He's huge. I mean, he can just stand there and block it. I've seen him jump, and it's ridiculous. He's jumped from 10 feet away just to block a shot. So I'm a little surprised that that's not the case, but it is what it is. And so, but I think Brooklyn will be back. It's just a matter of time. This is going on right now on TNT. My Knicks going up against Cleveland, and they're a pretty big rival. Hopefully, I'll get an alert that the Knicks have won. I don't know. But I am hoping to God that that's the case. Let's see. There we go. Let me just do that. I'm coming to that. There we go. Perfect. So, NBA in-season tournament will be starting. Oh, Jesus, what is going on? Okay, I'm slow because of that. NBA in-season tournament. Come on. Okay, I might have to pause something. Let me stop sharing. Maybe that helps. Yeah, looks like it does. Okay. So, NBA in-season tournament, and they have the new tournament courts for each NBA team. The Knicks looks pretty cool, I gotta say. It starts on Friday, November 3rd. That's this week. That's when this tournament starts. And the championship is Saturday, December 9th. Goes for a whole month. It's going to be on all the basketballs, channels, NBC, not NBC, ABC, and NBA channel, and also TNT probably. Those are the 3 that's probably going to be on. I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm obviously curious on ratings, so we'll see on that. All right, last football or last sports thing, real quick. NCAA college football. So, college rankings came out. The Associated Press top 25. Let's see, is it? Oh, here we go. College football playoff. Okay, so the college football playoff rankings came out today, not yesterday. That's, everything else came out yesterday. This came out today. Ohio State is number one. Not Georgia. Ohio State is number one. Georgia's number two. Michigan 3. Florida 4. Now, if I'm correct, I think they have 6 or 8 now for who's supposed to play in these playoffs. So let's see. 5 is Washington. So the top 5 are all still undefeated. All 8-0. So any one of these teams could possibly lose and drop big time, which would help the next 5. Excuse me, the soda's coming up. So Oregon is 6, and Oregon's a good team. Bo Nix at quarterback. Texas 7, Alabama 8, Oklahoma 9, Ole Miss 10. Oh, go figure, Ole Miss. Haven't been in this in God knows how long. And Penn State is number 11, rounding out that top 11. Notre Dame is 15 with those 2 losses. They can't afford another loss, I'll tell you right now. Air Force is the other 8-0, and they're 25th. Because they're in an easier division, that's why they feel that they're not going to put them as high. They keep winning, they'll be in the top 10. It's just a matter of they may not make the playoff. But that's Air Force. It's always going to be Air Force or Army or Navy. Now, do you know who got points? And it's not on here, but it was from the Associated Press. A top 25 points. Rutgers got 2 people who voted for them to be 25th. Go figure. Rutgers is actually a good team. Could this help recruiting? I'm wondering. And hopefully at some point some people will start watching me and watching this. And I will recruit for Rutgers. Rutgers is a good team when it has good players. It's got a good coach. It's got a good alumni. I'm not one, but I know more than a few. Go to Rutgers. If you're a good football player in the area, Rutgers is the team to go to, because in a few years it will be better than it is now. I promise you that. All right, so this week in the world, and it's been a sad week. If you know where I'm going, and I'm not going politics or the war, because we know that already. We lost 3 big celebrities this week. And for me, it's sad for all 3 because I do know all of them. I mean, mostly. Matthew Perry, Friends. We heard he's been sick for a while. Hasn't been in the best shape. And his situation, how he passed away, is unfortunate. And he will be missed. I mean, everything's been pouring out with salutations for him. And people in the remembrances of him and what they meant to him. Obviously, his stepfather, I found out, is one of the Dateline guy from NBC, and he was an amazing character for multiple shows and movies. Friends obviously being the one that everybody knew. So he passed away on the 28th. We lost him at the age of 54. Richard Roundtree lived a life, Shaft, and he was in Roots apparently in the Roots movie. So Shaft, that was. I've seen parts. I've never seen the entire thing, but I know it was a culture movie, and Richard Roundtree was a cultural person, and he died at 81 years old on the 24th. So that was last Wednesday, if I'm correct. And now this one hit me pretty hard because I love this guy, man. I love this man. I know he lived a long life. He was 80 years old, but Richard Mall, he played Bull on Night Court. Damn shame, but we lost him too. But that's. So I give my condolences to all the family members of these 3 guys. It's very sad that they're gone. Now this really hit home because I'm a bowler, and I think if you've watched me, I've talked about bowling a little bit. Lewiston, Maine, mass shooter had numerous run-ins with the authorities, showed warning signs long before the shootings. And my prayers and condolences do go for all 18 victims' families. This is a tragedy not any bigger than any other tragedy, but the fact that it hits home. I know people in Maine who I was watching their Facebook page and how they live 10 minutes away. They live 10 miles away. And it was crazy just to read some of the comments that they were saying. So it's very sad, and I hope, and I heard they found him. They found the mass shooter, and he's not with us anymore. And whatever his circumstances, I'm not too upset that that's the case. But nonetheless, go to this next story. Well, it's not a great story, but it's an interesting one because you don't see this too often. Ottawa Senator, this is a hockey story. Shane Pinto, suspended 41 games, becomes the first modern NHL player banned for gambling. Dude, what are you doing? What? Seriously. Gambling in hockey? Now, you may not have been gambling in hockey. I didn't state what you were gambling and what you got busted for. But you're probably doing it in-house. My guess is you were doing it in-house, in the arena, which from everything I've heard and everything I've read from other football players, you can't do. So, not cool, not good. And then this. NHL rescinds ban on rainbow-colored pride tape, allows players to use this on ice this season. Why did they even put it on in the first place? How insensitive is that? And if you don't want it on, you don't want it on. Like, not every player has to do it. But some players who want to do it, let them do it. I don't understand why you would. That's just me. I mean, I'm not anti anything, especially that. Because, to each their own, in my opinion. But to say someone can't do something because they are or they support, and I'm not going to get too political because I know I can hear, oh, well, you're kneeling. No, we're not going there. And I don't support kneeling. But anyway, I'm not going there. I'm talking about something a little less divisive, if you know what I mean. And I'll reiterate this as we're talking about, I talked about this last week. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is this week. I hope to at least watch some of it. I'd love this because I want to see Sheryl Crow. I want to see Missy Elliott. And I'm sure with George Michael, they're going to do is have somebody singing his songs. And Rage Against the Machine. I would love to see Rage perform. I would love to see Rage perform. And hopefully it's, I might have to watch on YouTube because at least I could hear them cursing, which is some of their songs. They do, bellow out the F you, I won't do what you tell me, if you know what song I'm talking about. That's one of Rage's songs. So, and then we also got in the influence, like I had before, DJ Kool Herc and Link Ray. Musical Excellence Award to Shaka Khan, Al Cooper, and Bernie Taupin, and Don Cornelius. I think why do I think he was not American Bandstand? He was someone's gonna hit me for not knowing this, but okay. So that's this third. The third is Thursday or Friday. So I think it's Friday. So that's that. Won't talk about that no more. Now I do want to talk about this. This is almost becoming my I don't know. It's my show that I'm kind of getting into, and it's a little weird. Not giving away my man card. Golden Bachelor on Thursdays on ABC. This week is hometown week. Remember I said Jerry shocked everybody that last week because he picked Teresa? Guess what? He did it again. He picked Teresa over Ellen. If you're watching, it was a shock to a lot of people. A shock to me and Beth while we were watching it. My mouth dropped. Given how she is, made me think, okay, she should have been gone. But also made me think that there's a connection between Teresa and Jerry that it's hard for him to let that go. That's got to be the reason he's been giving her roses. And she's, the last two times, been the last person to get the rose. There's a reason she's the last person. There's a reason that there's a connection. I don't know what it is. Ellen was the pickleball woman. And he loves pickleball. This new craze of sport that's going around. Pickleball. I thought that was enough for Ellen. Like, now with Teresa, and now it's hometown. Now she's coming back to Shrewsbury, or she never did this, obviously. She came back to Shrewsbury, or wherever the family is. We're going to see the house. We're going to see, or at least the inside of the house. Probably don't want to see the outside, because if we see outside, everybody's going to be, tormenting her. But I saw some previews, and I think it's Teresa's grandkids who are doing this to Jerry. Don't hurt my grandmother. That's that's a trip. It's going to be interesting to watch this on Friday or Saturday when I watch it. It's Thursday night at Bowl, so by the time I get home, I just go right to bed. Now the other two, for 61 and 64, these women are absolutely gorgeous. Leslie Fema and Faith Martin. So that's what, and I have where they're from. So just for context. But I would say Teresa, and their full names: Teresa Nist, Leslie Fema, Faith Martin. That's their names. So, and Jerry's name is out there. I forgot his name. But now Leslie and Faith, they're very good-looking women, and I think that's they're very good-looking. There's interests on the inside of each woman that is different than Teresa. This is where it's going to be interesting, and they previewed. He's in a conundrum. All of a sudden, he's starting to get a mental mind F, if you know what I mean. So, I'm curious who he eliminates, because once they go from 3 to 2 to 1. So, one person's going to be gone by a hometown. I'm thinking it's going to be Teresa, but we don't even know yet. That's a pre-thing that it's going to be Teresa. Now, this I read after on posts about this show. Kind of got me a little curious. Take a look. Justice for Ellen. Quote, I don't know if there are 15 eligible men good enough for her, but Ellen for Golden Bachelorette or else. Ellen for Golden Bachelorette. You know what? I'm not opposed. I tell you who I don't want to see is Teresa. God help me, I don't want to see Teresa as the Golden Bachelorette. But Ellen, I mean, she's not... I'm not here to judge what people look like. Everyone is got a good personality with their look. I'm not the best looking guy, but I have a great personality. Yes, I'm patting myself on the shoulder. But, so everybody's not a 10. She's not a 10. But she's got a good heart. She's a good person. And the fact that there's a justice for Ellen in the Twitter world, X world, the web, the World Wide Web, there's a justice for Ellen out there. It's huge. So, honestly, we might be talking about that in the next 4 to 5 months. Now, also, what's going on right now is week 6 of season 32 of Dancing with the Stars, Monster Night. I got that on tape too, so I'll watch that. But then Mira Sorvino went out last week. Thankfully, my girl Allison Hannigan has not got out yet. She's been in the bottom 3, 2 of the last 3 weeks, but she's not gone. Thank God. So hopefully she'll start picking it up. Maybe I think people like her because of American Pie, because of Buffy. I mean, those are the reasons I like her. So, and I haven't voted. I tried voting. I actually tried voting for Barry. I do like Barry. I feel he's going to be off the next couple of weeks, but I do like Barry. So one more. I'll put this up. I'm not going to really say anything. You can see Trolls band together. These are upcoming movies. Marvel's is 11/10, so that's in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. So my top 10. Hold on, let me get this up. I want to get my music up. and Halloween candy. Okay. Let me get rid of that, and we'll go to this. So, top 10 Halloween candy. Number 10, Milky Way. Number 9, Snickers. 8, Starburst. I love my Starburst. 7, Hershey Chocolate Bars. 6, Original M&Ms. Hopefully you like that list. And we'll go to the next 5, which the next 5, 3 of them are state, or out of all the 50 states, it's 3 of these are the top 1 of each of their states. And New Jersey's the one that's number 1. Crackle. I don't think it's on anybody's list. That's one of my favorites. Love Crackle. Number 5. Crunch, similar to Crackle, so it's got to be up there. That's number 4. Peanut M&Ms. I love the peanut over the original. It's more of that crunch. That's why I love it. Kit Kat number 2. Always Kit Kat number 2. And then Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Flat out. It's New Jersey's number 1 candy. And it's also like 10 others, if not more, that are Reese's is the number 1 candy for their state. One more thing, and I'm done. Not doing birthdays. I'm done with birthdays. It's not working. You guys aren't watching, at least from what I know. If you were and you want me to do yours, let me know. But honestly, I don't feel anybody's wanting me to do it. This is my Thursday night pick. The battle of the backups. Pittsburgh over Tennessee. 24-21. Oh, that means I got to switch my picks. I think I picked Tennessee. Pittsburgh. So I might need to change that because I did that before I knew that Pittsburgh had missed another quarterback. So tentatively, it's Pittsburgh 24-21. That could change. So one more thing, and I want to say this because we're coming up next Tuesday, and next Tuesday is a big day for voting. Make sure you get out there to vote. It's important whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, you don't care. It's important to vote for the people that you feel is right for whatever role you're voting them for. Put it this way. Or is it right here? I got mine. Get it in focus. There we go. I'm ready to vote. I know who I'm voting for. You should too. I'm just saying. I don't want to push too much. Say, oh, you have to do this. Well, you should. It's your right as an adult in this society, in this country. It's your right to do it. So I recommend everyone get out there and vote. It doesn't have to be. I vote because I feel I need to vote. I don't vote because it's a presidential year. That's why I vote. So I'm not rocking the vote, but honestly, I will rock the vote if I have to. It's that simple. And like you said, if you like what you see, like what you hear, please click the subscribe button. Please tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your loved ones. If you like what I'm saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you want to comment what I'm saying, tell me what I'm saying that is wrong, please let me know. I'm interested. I'm willing to banter. I'm willing to talk. I know it's a busy night tonight. Halloween is a little rough. I wasn't expecting to see anybody, but hopefully you'll view this down the road. I'm going to share this on Facebook and on Twitter and on LinkedIn. Those are the 3 places I do share it. And I hope to see you guys for I haven't done a Saturday one in a while. It's been tough with Saturdays. Maybe I'll do it before Crown Jewel. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see everybody, if not Saturday, next Tuesday on Election Day. Remember, go vote.